If you're a fan of my content and you want even more, head over to twitch.tv/AceTrainElium, link in the description, for live streams 5 days a week. Come and join our amazing community. Hey everybody, AceTrainElium here and welcome to another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form or a branched evolution or a counterpart Pokemon. We have a look at the differences between the Pokemon in question and we try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a Metronome Battle between them just for a little bit of fun. If you're a fan of Form Fight already and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button, show you're enjoying this series, and of course hit the subscribe button if you're new so you never miss an episode. With all that out the way, let's take a look at today's challenges. Today on Form Fight we're going to be looking at the 4 guardian deities of Alola: Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Fini, who each keep watch over one of the 4 islands of Alola, that being Mele Mele, Akala, Ula Ula, or Pony respectively. What makes these 4 Pokemon so different? Let's take a look. According to the Pokedex, Tapu Koko is 1.8 meters tall and weighs 20.5 kilograms. Its Pokedex entry reads, the lightning-wielding guardian deity of Mele Mele. Tapu Koko is brimming with curiosity and appears before people from time to time. As for Tapu Lele, it floats at 1.2 meters tall and weighs 18.6 kilograms. Its Pokedex entry says it heals the wounds of people and Pokemon by sprinkling them with its sparkling scales. This guardian deity is worshipped on Akala. Tapu Bulu stands at 1.9 meters tall and weighs 45.5 kilograms, and its Pokedex information says it makes ringing sounds with its tail to let others know where it is, avoiding unneeded conflict. This guardian deity of Ula Ula controls plants. And finally, Tapu Fini is 1.3 meters tall and weighs 21.2 kilograms, with its Pokedex information saying this guardian deity of Pony Island manipulates water. Because it lives deep within a thick fog, it came to be both feared and revered. Appearance-wise, each of the guardian deities of Alola resemble tribal masks split open to reveal a somewhat humanoid creature inside. In their shiny forms, the main colour of their masks changes to a deep black colour. Now let's have a look at their typing, weaknesses, and resistances. First up, we have Tapu Koko, who is a dual-type electric and fairy Pokemon, making it weak to both poison and ground-type moves. It resists fighting, flying, bug, electric, and dark-type moves, and is completely immune to dragon-type attacks. Tapu Lele is a dual-type psychic and fairy Pokemon, which makes it weak to poison, ghost, and steel-type moves. It resists only fighting and psychic attacks, and again is completely immune to dragon-type moves. As for Tapu Bulu, it is a dual-type grass and fairy Pokemon, which makes it weak to flying, poison, steel, fire, and ice, with the poison-type weakness being a 4 times weakness. Tapu Bulu resists fighting, ground, water, grass, electric, and dark-type attacks, and again is completely immune to dragon-type moves. And finally, Tapu Fini is a dual-type water and fairy Pokemon, which makes it weak to poison, grass, and electric-type moves, resisting fighting, bug, fire, water, ice, and dark, and is completely immune to dragon-type moves once again. Now let's have a look at the stats and abilities of these 4 Pokemon. Each of these Pokemon has the same distribution of stats, just swapped around to give a little variety, with each being particularly proficient in one stat, with Tapu Koko being the fastest, Tapu Lele having the highest special attack, Tapu Bulu having the highest physical attack, and Tapu Fini having the top spot for special defense. Each of these Pokemon's primary ability summons terrain relating to their typing when they enter a battle. For Tapu Koko, Electric Surge summons electric terrain, which increases the power of electric type moves used by grounded Pokemon by 50% and prevents grounded Pokemon from falling asleep. For Tapu Lele, Psychic Surge summons psychic terrain, which increases the power of psychic type moves used by grounded Pokemon by 50% and protects grounded Pokemon from increased priority moves. Tapu Bulu's ability, Grassy Surge, summons grassy terrain, which increases the power of grass-type moves used by grounded Pokemon by 50% and restores 1/16 of each grounded Pokemon's max HP at the end of each turn. And finally, Tapu Fini's Misty Surge summons Misty Terrain, which halves the power of dragon-type moves used against grounded Pokemon and prevents grounded Pokemon from being burned, paralyzed, poisoned, confused, or put to sleep. These 4 Pokemon all have the same hidden ability, which is Telepathy, which prevents them from taking damage from allies' damaging moves. This of course is handy for allowing allies to take advantage of spread moves such as Discharge or Sludge Wave, although you can formulate plenty of strategies that don't involve potentially hitting your ally, so it's not too important of an ability for these Pokemon. Now it's time for me to decide which of these 4 Pokemon I prefer, and they're all pretty samey, apart from obviously their particular proficiency. And for me, I prefer the look of Tapu Bulu out of all of them. I just think it has the coolest design. But I think in terms of actual battle, I prefer Tapu Fini. I like that defensiveness that it has. I like that it has great physical defense and special defense, so it's kind of protected against both threats. Although I think if I was going to go for all-out power, I'd probably go with Tapu Lele, purely because I feel like having the special attacking power, and especially being a psychic and fairy Pokemon, two types that very much can make great use of special attacks. I think that just kind of works so well, and I think that's why Tapu Lele can be quite a popular offensive Pokemon from this group. So that's probably what I'd go for. I think overall I go for Tapu Lele, but I kind of prefer the stat distribution of Tapu Fini, and I prefer the look of Tapu Bulu. But of course, it isn't just up to me, it's up to you guys to decide which is your favorite. But before you do that, let's see these Pokemon in action. It's time for the Metronome Battle. Now, because there's 4 of these Pokemon, and there is no way to do a Battle Royale that actually ends with 1 Pokemon left standing, we're doing it as an old school FFA-style multi-battle. So, spread moves obviously will hit ally Pokemon, but there are no allies in this battle. It's the only way we're going to be able to deal with it. So I've used a random number generator to determine who's going to be where on the field to try and keep it as fair as possible. Of course, these Pokemon, before we begin, have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats. They're not holding any items. They've got neutral natures. Since they all have telepathy as their hidden ability, and I don't really want them to avoid hitting their allies because they're not supposed to be allies, I've given them all their regular surge abilities, their primary abilities in this instance. I normally do hidden abilities, but this time we're going primary. Of course, the only advantage or disadvantage any of these Pokemon are going to get is going to come from their typing and their base stats. Everything else is all up to the metronome. Let's go. Here we go, it's the battle of the island deities, the island guardians of Alola. Tapu Koko versus Tapu Bulu versus Tapu Fini versus Tapu Lele. The battlefield's about to be very strange, as each surge ability brings a new terrain to the battlefield. There's the electric surge from Tapu Koko, bringing the electric terrain. Tapu Lele's psychic surge, bringing psychic terrain. Tapu Fini's misty surge will change that to misty terrain. And then the slowest Pokemon, Tapu Bulu, with the grassy surge, will change everything to grassy terrain, which will increase the power of grass type moves used by any of these Pokemon by 50%, and will also restore 1/16 of each of these Pokemon's max HP at the end of each turn. Here's Psychic Fangs from Tapu Koko, the fastest Pokemon on the field to start things off, doing a little bit of damage there to Tapu Lele, but it is resisted, and Tapu Lele is looking to respond. What will it go for? Goes for submission, but Tapu Fini avoids it. Now it's Tapu Fini's turn to fire. What will it do here? The more defensive of these Pokemon goes for a Draining Kiss on Tapu Bulu. There will be no resistance there. Massive damage actually for a Draining Kiss to Tapu Bulu. What will it do here to return the favor? Goes for Light Screen. It's going to protect itself, and unfortunately for Tapu Bulu, it's also going to protect Tapu Lele from special attacks for the foreseeable future. And here is the HP restore from the grassy terrain there on Tapu Bulu and Tapu Lele, who both took damage that turn. Tapu Koko going to start the next turn off with Inferno, but it's avoided by Tapu Lele. Very lucky for Lele there. What's it going to do in response? Tapu Lele is going to go for Rest, and it's going to, even though it's not got very much HP gone, it's still going to rest, restore itself back up to full HP, and just rest for 2 turns and hopefully try and stay out of trouble. Tapu Fini is going to respond to this with a Sunny Day. Going to bring the harsh sunlight and increase the power of fire type moves. Don't know how clever that was for Tapu Fini. It's not going to be good for Tapu Bulu, at least, who is weak to fire type moves. Tapu Bulu, Speak of the Devil, is going to fire off a Psy Strike, and it's going to be onto, I believe, Tapu Fini from the look of it. Yep, onto Tapu Fini. Great deal of damage there. Of course, it's going to be restored a little bit. 1/16 of Tapu Fini's max HP restored, and as is the case for everybody who's taken damage here from that grassy terrain. Here comes Tapu Koko. What will it do? It's going to go for Spore, but Tapu Lele's already asleep, so it targeted the wrong Pokemon, although it wouldn't have affected Tapu Bulu anyway, so it would have failed either way, that Spore on that turn. Tapu Lele's fast asleep, so it's over to Tapu Fini, who goes for a Dark Pulse, which is going to be neutral on Tapu Lele. Of course, normally Fairy types resist Dark type moves, but not when they're part Psychic. Here's an Icicle Spear from Tapu Bulu, not going to be very effective on Tapu Fini there. How many hits will it get? Gets the first hit, gets the second hit, And it's just 2 hits there, not very effective on Tapu Fini. And there's the HP restore for Tapu Lele. There's the HP restore for Tapu Fini. And I believe there should be one for Tapu Bulu. There it is. Tapu Koko still remains untouched in this battle. Hasn't taken any damage right now as it goes for the Metronome once again. What's it got in store? It's going to go for Moonlight. Just as I'm saying, it's not had any damage, so it completely wastes a turn on Moonlight there. Tapu Lele still fast asleep. Will wake up from the rest next turn. Over to Tapu Fini. What does it have in mind? Tapu Fini is going to go for Grass Knot, and it's going to be on Tapu Lele there. Of course, these Pokemon don't particularly weigh a lot. Tapu Bulu is the heaviest on the field at 45.5 kilograms, I believe. As it goes for Teleport, another wasted turn there. So there's some HP back for Tapu Lele and for Tapu Fini, and then once again, it'll be for Tapu Bulu. There it is. Bringing Tapu Bulu back up to full HP as well. So very, very even match so far. Nobody really taking any great damage at this point. Here's Mind Reader from Tapu Koko. A bit of a waste there. Not really going to do anything for Tapu Koko right now. Here is the Tapu Lele waking up. What will it do here now that it finally has a chance to move? Goes for Poison Sting. That will be super effective, but not a lot of damage because it's not a very high power move. But it doesn't get the poison either on Tapu Koko. Bit unfortunate for Tapu Lele there. Here's Tapu Fini with a Poison Sting of its own. 4 times effective on Tapu Bulu. Still not a great deal of damage, of course, because it's Poison Sting and doesn't get the poison either. Here comes Tapu Bulu firing back with a Flame Charge, though. Not very effective on Tapu Fini, but will increase the speed stat of Tapu Bulu by 1 stage, which should change the order of attack. It should certainly make it faster than Tapu Fini. Possibly even more than Tapu Lele, but definitely not more than Tapu Koko. So there, everyone gets their HP back once again. That 1/16 of everybody's HP restored. Light screen wore off, so no more light screen on the Tapu Bulu, Tapu Lele side, and no more grassy terrain. No more HP restoring, guys. The damage is there to stay. Here comes Tapu Koko, who's going to go for Magic Room, which is going to remove the effects of held items, but there are no held items in this battle, so completely wasted turn for Tapu Koko once again. Tapu Bulu is now moving second thanks to that +1 speed. Goes for Toxic Spikes, wastes its first opportunity. Brilliant job there, Tapu Bulu. Well done. Next, it will be Tapu Lele. Will it waste its turn? Or is it going to go for something that will actually work? Goes for Mega Kick. Not messing about. Great damage there to Tapu Fini. Not quite enough to bring it under half its max HP, but close enough. And there, Tapu Fini goes for a Wild Charge, which does a decent amount of damage to Tapu Lele there, but a little bit of recoil damage, which does bring it down to less than half its max HP. The harsh sunlight has gone away, and now it's over to Tapu Koko to continue this battle. It gears up and goes for an Air Slash. Will it be on Tapu Bulu? No, it's on Tapu Lele. Tapu Lulu breathing a sigh of relief right there because that would have been super effective. Brings Tapu Lele down to less than half its max HP as Tapu Bulu goes topsy-turvy, but it is going to fail due to the lack of stat changes. Tapu Lele flinches from the Air Slash, and now it's over to Tapu Fini, who is going to go for a Leafage, which isn't going to do much damage. It's not a very high power move, but it does put Tapu Lele in a little bit more danger there. Here comes Tapu Koko once again. Fires up the Metronome, comes out with Whirlpool. It is going to be on Tapu Bulu, which will not be very effective, but will do damage at the end of each turn onto Tapu Bulu, who is trapped in the vortex there. Here comes Bulu looking to respond. Will it go for Tapu Koko this time? Goes for Cosmic Power. It's going to increase its defense and special defense by 1 stage. Going to protect itself whilst it's suffering under that Whirlpool damage there. Here comes Tapu Lele. No flinches this time. It's going to go for Cross Poison, which will be massively effective on Tapu Fini. Brings it down into the danger zone. Not looking for Tapu Fini, although luckily for Tapu Fini, it was not poisoned, as it looks to fire back Aromatherapy. If it had been poisoned, this would have worked. So, you know what? That was a great strat by Tapu Fini, getting ready for the poison, but it just didn't work out. There's the Whirlpool damage on Tapu Bulu. Here comes Tapu Koko once again, in certainly the best position so far. Goes for Milk Drink, going to restore its HP, which it hasn't really lost that much of. Really barely any, back up to maximum. What will Tapu Bulu do in response here as it charges up that Metronome? It gets ready and goes for Shore Up, so it's going to restore its own HP by up to 50% right there, which is going to put Tapu Bulu back at 100% HP. It's looking great on the right-hand side of the field, but the left-hand side, Tapu Fini and Tapu Lele really going at it, as we see Infestation come out from Tapu Lele onto Tapu Koko, so completely negating the use of that Milk Drink there. And that means that whilst Tapu Lele is on the field, Tapu Koko is going to suffer Infestation damage at the end of each turn. Tapu Fini is going to go for Crunch, which will be neutral on Tapu Lele. Massive damage, bringing it down to 18 hit points, very much in the danger zone. So now both Tapu Lele and Tapu Fini are in the danger zone. There's the infestation damage on Tapu Koko, and then once again the whirlpool damage on Tapu Bulu. Tapu Koko has got to be angry, goes for trump card, got to be angry about that infestation, but uses trump card on Tapu Bulu. Really barely any damage there from that trump card. Tapu Bulu is going to respond with Tita Dance on everybody. So now everybody on the field is going to be confused except for Tapu Bulu. So there's Tapu Lele, who has become confused. There is Tapu Koko becoming confused. And of course Tapu Fini as well. All going to be confused. How's that going to change the complexion of this battle? Tapu Lele is confused and is going to hit itself and knocks itself out of the competition in confusion. Goodbye, Tapu Lele. It is now just Tapu Fini, Tapu Koko, and Tapu Bulu. Tapu Fini is going to ignore the confusion, though. What's it going to do here while it has an opportunity? It's going to go for Burn Up. That's going to fail because it does not have the fire type at all. There's more whirlpool damage on Tapu Bulu. Magic Rooms wore off, but it wasn't effective anyway. Of course, no infestation damage for Tapu Koko because Tapu Lele has left the field. Tapu Koko is confused, but is going to ignore it. Going to go for that metronome. What will it do here? It's going to go for Bug Bite on Tapu Bulu, which will be neutral. Fairy resists Bug, but of course, Grass is weak to Bug, so that becomes neutral. Tapu Bulu is going to go for Frenzy Plant. Is that going to be enough? It hits Tapu Koko for huge damage, brings it right down into the danger zone. Tapu Fini is going to use the metronome. What will it do here? What a great play by Tapu Bulu. Tapu Fini goes for high jump kick. Tapu Bulu avoids it, so Tapu Fini dies from crash damage. It's just Koko versus Bulu at this point. Oh my goodness, there's more of that whirlpool damage, bringing Tapu Bulu down into the yellow, less than half its max HP. Now it's over to Tapu Koko. What's it going to do here to respond? Hits itself in confusion and goes down. Tapu Bulu's Tita Dance pays dividends. It took out both Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele with that Tita Dance. That was fantastic by Bulu. Well done. So you heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield, but now it's time for you to make your decision. Which of the 4 Island Guardians is your favourite? Is it Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, or Tapu Fini? Let me know in the comments below and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode of Form Fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel like these wonderful people down here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainLiam. And for live streams 5 days a week, I'll see you over at twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.